Yo,
Yeah,
it's dead in this town. You know,
it's crazy.
gotta shake things up.
Yeah,
For real. Let's go.
Quiet nights, there is no sound. Who needs a life with no fun around? Quiet nights, can't feel a pulse, can't hear a heartbeat. It's time to wake up.
What's up, YouTube? So, if you're here at this video, it's because you're trying to figure out how do I pick the right company to go to. So, with that being said, let's dive right into it. Guys, if you're trying to figure out what's the best company for me to go to as a beginner, maybe it's, hey, I'm trying to find the right school to go get my CDL, or maybe it's, hey, you know, I just finished my first year driving and I'm looking for something with better pay. Let's talk about it, guys. So, the first thing you need to do before you make any decisions, you need to pick what division you want to go into. That's going to be determined by you personally. Are you looking for something that's going to be more physically demanding, something you're going to be more active, stay more fit? That's going to kind of determine it. If you're one of those people that wants to be out working, you want to actually be doing something, not just driving a truck, you're going to want to pick flatbed, guys. You're going to get to see a lot of cool stuff. You're going to get to do a lot of cool stuff. You're going to get to learn a lot. The amount of stuff that you're going to haul on a flatbed, guys, it's endless. I've hauled everything from lumber to steel piping to vehicles to tractors, you name it. I've hauled all kinds of stuff. I've hauled military equipment on flatbeds. You name it, guys, you're going to get to haul it with flatbed. Now, if you're one of those people that, you know, hey, I want more of like, I just want to drive during the day, you know, I just want to get things done. I don't really want to do all the work. You may want to look into doing dry van or reefer. The biggest difference with reefer, guys, you got some more responsibility to it. That's not to say that it's not an entry-level position. By all means, you can do reefer entry-level, guys. The biggest thing with a reefer, you got to make sure you've got those temperatures right. Make sure you're reading your BOLs right, which for those of you that if you're new coming into the industry, BOL is your bill of lading. That's going to be your paperwork showing you all the information about the load and where it's going. Dry van, it's pretty simple. Hook up, back into a dock, get loaded, drive. You don't have to worry about anything other than opening and closing your doors, guys. So, now that you've picked your division, let's talk about a couple companies. Now, by no means am I endorsed by any of these companies. Do I work for any of these companies? Do I get anything out of these companies? This is my personal recommendation. But I urge every one of you to call any company that you are considering. Talk to a recruiter. If possible, talk to some of the drivers. Find your local truck stop, guys. Chances are, especially if it's a mega carrier, you're going to find a driver from that carrier at one of your local truck stops. Go up to them. Talk to them. Most of the time, they're going to be willing to help you, give you some information about the company. But make sure you do your due diligence. You do not want to get screwed over, guys. You need to know your worth. I'm not going to go too much into knowing your worth, guys. There's a lot of great YouTubers out here that have already covered those videos. You've got YouTubers out here like SoCal Trucker, Trucking with LaShawn Parks, with Trucking Concepts. Guys, there's endless number of videos about figuring out what your worth is. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you are getting paid the most you possibly can for what you're doing. You're going to be out here, especially in the beginning, for weeks, maybe even a month at a time before you go home, guys. You want to try to make the most money possible out of it. So, let's dive right into it. If you're wanting to go into the flatbed division, I have two recommendations. The first one is going to be TMC Transportation. Now, with TMC, I do believe that you have to be 22 or 23 years old to get hired on with them, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. That's why I said make sure you do your due diligence, guys. You want to make sure that you're checking this information. It says it right on their site. They're very open about it. And then the next one is going to be System Transport, guys. If you're out on the West Coast, I would recommend System Transport. They're a great company. They do a lot of flatbed. They do a lot of step deck. That's going to give you a lot more variable experience, guys. The more experience you have as time goes on, the better. Now, if you're wanting to do dry van, when it comes to dry van, guys, I'm going to be honest, I don't really have a preference. The company that I pulled dry van for was a smaller company. They're based out of Tennessee. That company, to my knowledge, I think they only hire out of Tennessee and the surrounding areas, or Texas and the surrounding areas. But if you would like that company and you are in one of those areas, shoot me an email. My email will be in the description box below, and I will give you that company information. But I don't really have a good personal recommendation for dry van. Reefer. If you're wanting to go into the reefer division, hands down, I have to say that Prime Inc. is by far the best for entry-level reefer when it comes to not only the training you're going to get, but the support backing and the pay. Guys, when it comes into it, as you coming into the industry new with no experience, you can't really be expecting the best pay, but you do want to make sure that you get what you're worth, guys. There's companies out here I've seen personally, just doing research on them. There's companies that'll start you as low as 20 cents a mile, guys. You are worth more than 20 cents a mile. If they offer you 20 cents a mile, guys, turn away. Just turn away. There's a million other trucking companies out here that will pay you better, I promise. Then you've got some that are on the higher end that pay upwards of 42 cents a mile. If I'm not mistaken, Prime Inc., they start you out around 40 to 42 cents a mile, guys. That's with no experience whatsoever. Make sure you know that you're getting the best pay. Do your research. Look at different companies in your area. Look at different companies that run routes that you want to run. If you live in some little small town and all you see is Prime Inc. trucks, hey, guess what? You may want to look into Prime Inc. You may want to do a little more research on Prime Inc. Because if you're seeing a lot of Prime Inc. trucks, guys, that means they have freight in your area or going through your area. And to you as a driver, that means you're going to get a lot more home time, guys. And home time is key out here. It's great and all. If you're single with no family or anything, by all means, stay out as long as you can and rack up that money, guys. Just rack up that money. But if you have a family, home time is going to be key, guys. So you want to make sure that you're getting the best balance between pay and home time. So make sure that you do your due diligence. Just look around. I know everybody sees trucks coming in and out of their area. Just look and decide, hey, you know, I see a lot of CRST trucks. I see a lot of Prime trucks. I see a lot of whatever. I see a lot of System Transport. Just do your due diligence, guys. Call the companies, talk to them, explain to them, hey, I either have my CDL and I have this much experience, I don't have my CDL, but I would like to get my CDL, guys. And they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you either, hey, we have a company, we'll put you through training, or they'll recommend a company in your area that you can go through, get training, and then come over to them. On top of that, guys, not only do you need to be worrying about your pay and things of that nature, but you also want to look into the training program. If you're somebody that does not already have your CDL, you want to look in and see, hey, what is going to provide me the best option? So say, for example, we'll just go out and say XYZ Transport. I don't know if that's a real company or not. I'm just using them as an example. Say, for example, you call them and they say, hey, you know what? We have completely paid training. We're going to put you up in our hotel. We're going to bring you out here. It doesn't cost you anything. We're going to provide food. We're going to pay you $500 a week while you're going through training. $300 a week while you're going through training, whatever it may be, that may be something to consider. Not everybody's going to have a lot of money when they come into this industry. You're probably coming into this industry because you want to make the money that can be made in this industry. Now, if you call them and they tell you that, you keep that information, write it down. Then you call ABC Transport. If ABC Transport says, you know, we have a great training program, but we're going to start you out at 25 cents a mile. You have to pay for your food and everything, but we're going to provide housing and transport out here. You write that down. Then you start comparing the notes, and you say, okay, you know what? I think this is going to be the best fit for me. Go there, guys. Get your experience. If you do a year with that company and you decide, you know what? Hey, I want to look for something a little better. That's fine. But you got to get your foot in the door somehow, guys. Just make sure that whatever you pick, it's something you can stick with for at least 1 year. Any of the better carriers, well, I don't know if I'd say that, any of the higher tier carriers, they're going to want you to have a minimum of a year to a year and a half experience, guys. So why not go ahead, find the company that's going to be the best suiting for you, and then stick with them for that year, year and a half. In the meantime, by all means, look for carriers that may have a little bit better pay, a little bit better home time, things of that nature. But go ahead, knock that first year, year and a half out, and get it done, guys.